Hi guys, it's Crystal City Girl Homestead. Time for Thankful Thursday. So I'm going to do things just a little bit different for today, and because there's a couple things that I want to talk about. And I guess if people don't like it, then they can tell me in the comments that you didn't like what I did this week, and that'll be fine. So this week I want it to be things that we're very thankful for, but then also something that I watched today on YouTube, and I kind of want to address it too. And I also, obviously, all of you that have been with me for a very long time know that I am a woman of faith, and my faith is very, very important to me. And I see the troubles that a lot of people are going through, whether it's financial or emotional, mental, physical, whatever it happens to be. A lot of financial right now. And so, first of all, you know that I'm most thankful for my Lord and Savior. So I would like to start our video today out with a small prayer. Heavenly Father, please bless every single person in my group, all my friends and family that's in that group. I would also like to, anyone that happens to pop in, bless them as well. You know the needs of every single person in this community and anyone that would watch this video. I ask that you touch them, whether it's the financial or emotional, mental, physical, whatever it happens to be. You know what's wrong, and I ask that you help them. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so I am going to make an apple dump cake today, and haven't done one from scratch before, so we're going to try this. I also, a couple of days ago, I know you guys think I'm weird. That's okay. But, and I don't know what to say, but I just heard faith. So, let's get down here. I need to cut up 5 cups of apples. And it says to peel them, but unless I absolutely have to, I do not peel my apples, ever. Unless I'm canning them or whatever it happens to be. A little bit of, peeling on there is not going to kill anybody. So we want to cut these into 1-inch squares. And I need 5 cups. And the reason for me doing this is I've got some apples that were gifted to me a few weeks back, and I really, really need to get them used up. I don't like anything going to waste, especially something that was given to me, because they didn't think they'd use it. That's just crazy. So I heard the word faith, and so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to talk about with that, but, I think it goes along with the prayer and the things that everybody's going through. We rely on ourselves so much, and you know what? I'm not one that will tell you, don't do that. I believe that you should put God first, and if you don't believe that, that's okay. Don't go anywhere. You do you, you know what I mean? I'm not going to push my faith on anybody. And the thing is that if we are people of faith, we know that in God's time, everything comes through, right? So we have that faith that He'll deliver, whether it's, somebody's hurting or someone needs financial help, whatever it happens to be. But I also believe in, I'm not even sure what the word would be, that if you want things, sure, could God make my channel like overnight success and make it an amazing channel, and I have 1 million subscribers and I'm making all kinds of money? Sure, He could. Of course He could. My countertop is clean, by the way. He could do that in a heartbeat. But if everything is handed to us, I think we should pray about everything, and ask God for help and guidance and whatever. But I think that we need to put in the work, I don't think God was meant to be our ATM or, sure, He delivers us a lot of things, and I'm not saying that He doesn't, but we need to depend on ourselves as well. And I know a lot of Christians would go against me saying that, But if everything was always just handed to us, would you appreciate a bit of it? And I think then, at that point, and I'm still saying pray about everything, but at that point, aren't we kind of just taking advantage of God if we don't put any of the work out there ourselves? Like if we complain that our finances are bad, and yet we do nothing to try to improve it, is that God's fault or is that ours? It goes back to the, the guy goes, yeah, I was waiting for God to save me, and he was out in a boat and he was going to drown and the boat was going to get empty, and people came by and asked him, do you need help? Do you need help? And the guy was like, no, God will save me. God will save me. And so when he drowned, the guy questioned God, why didn't you save me? He goes, I did. I tried to. I sent this person, that person, whatever, to come save you, and you turned them all away. So I think that sometimes he puts opportunities in front of us, and we don't take them. Like I got another call today from one of my customers. She's been with me for, oh gosh, probably about 6 or 8 years. And she says, I'm giving your number to someone today, and they should be calling you because I just love the way that you do business and you take such good care of us. And, she goes, and I told them all that. And, so maybe I'll get another deal again from, referrals, which is great. And I want my channel to grow, so it's like if I only did one video a week, that's certainly not getting me out there very much. You know what I mean? So I think we need to have faith in God that he'll give us a plan or a way to get to where we need to go. And sometimes it's like the guy in the boat. Sometimes it's just him sending us something that we can, that we can work on. If he sends me customers via, referrals, he's still helping me out financially, right? I believe that he's talking to someone going, hey, you know what? Chris needs more business, and, you like how she takes care of you, so why don't you let other people know? You know what I mean? So it's like, could he come down and just throw you $1 million? Well, sure he could, But does that mean that he's gonna? Probably not. So I believe that we have to make some things in our lives at least start, by praying, asking for help, but then trying to do some things on your own. Now, can you heal a broken body and whatever? Probably not, but you can certainly pray about it, and you can certainly ask God for help for it, and he is the one that can do it. So I guess my speech for faith today is that we need to have faith that he will deliver. He will. It may not seem like it today, like I look at my bills and I'm like, oh, my customers have only done this much this month and YouTube's not doing much. I don't make much on YouTube anyway. $150 to $200 a month. But it'll get bigger. I know it will. But the thing is, we sit there and we worry about everything. We worry and worry and worry, and then it makes our body hurt. Like right now I'm in so much pain, it's crazy. Now the other side of my back's hurting. It's in my butt all the way down to my knees. I don't know what that is, but anyway. But it's like during the horrible sea. I got it really bad, and I survived it. My sister, she got it. She was in the hospital for a very long time, and she survived it. But those first few weeks, I don't know if you guys remember, I was scared. I was like, holy crap, we're at the end of the world here, and we're all going to die if we go outside, and whatever. And, about 3 to 4 weeks into it, I prayed to God, and I said, I am petrified of this, because I have breathing issues to begin with. So if I ever catch it, I'd tell Tom, you bring that home to me, and it's going to kill me. And there's sometimes, you guys, I swear, I almost called an ambulance because I thought I was going to die. It was not good. My breathing, everything, but I kept doing everything they told me to do. And I did. And I got through it. And it was a bit rough. It was quite a bit rough. But you know, I did everything they said. And so I got to thinking about it. And I said to Tom, I said, you know, there's only 4 conclusions to this. And he says, what's that? And I go, well, you either get it or you don't. You either live or you don't. Our days are chosen for us regardless, no matter what we do. They're chosen for us. And if it's our time, it doesn't matter if it's a car accident, a heart attack, cancer, COVID, whatever happens to be, you're going to go. I mean, that's just how it is. So I've learned to try not to live in fear. Now, I suffer from panic and anxiety, and sometimes it gets really rough, and my heart's been doing that stuff here and there. Not as bad as it did that one week, but yeah, it's not been the most blessing of things, that's for sure. But it's because I'm letting myself live in fear, and I'm letting myself live in I don't know what the word is even for it. But we get so fearful, and we get scared, and rightfully so. You know, there's so many circumstances right now that we're like, oh my gosh, what about the bills? What about this? What about that? What about it? If we can't pay the bills, eventually they're going to come get our stuff anyway, you know? Life could go bad. But in the meantime, should we put ourselves through living, you know what, until something happens? So anyway, I'm babbling already. So we're going to put those 5 cups of apples in there. And we're going to do a teaspoon of cinnamon. Now with any other recipe, you know what? If it's not enough of a certain spice that you like, you know what? By all means, add more. Or add less. I'm going to add a little less of one thing that we're using today because I read the reviews on it and it's like way too much sugar. So I'm not going to use as much sugar. Because I'll listen to people when they say, oh yeah, that was just way too much. Alright, so I'm saying for us to have faith. To know that, you know, I know some of the community members that are going through some serious medical things right now. And some serious, you know, financial things right now. And, you know, don't give in. Don't give up. Just plug away. Know that God's working on your behalf in the background. It may not always be on our time, but it is on His. And He didn't put us on this earth to be miserable. That's something I firmly believe in. And a lot of other Christians, they may not believe that, but I do. I think He's an amazing, awesome God, and I don't think He just send us here to be miserable all the time. I just don't. I worship a loving God, not a, ha-ha, you sucker. You're not getting anything this time either. You know, like somebody going up to Santa and saying, have you been good this year, little boy? Little girl? Yeah, well, remember that time that you said boo to your mom? Sucks to be you, you're out. I don't think God intended to be that one. I really don't. And maybe I'll get to the pearly gates and maybe I won't. And maybe I'll find out I was wrong and you guys were right. And I don't mean just you guys, I mean everybody. You know, who knows? Who knows? None of us know for sure. Now I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla. You know, it's about kills me to measure every single thing. Alright. But we're going to do it just because I've never done this one before. I still got about 12 apples in my refrigerator, I tell you. And Tom won't take them to work because they don't set right on his stomach. Alright, so now for the topping, we need 2 1/3 cups of flour. So, you know, if you guys felt like I got too much into God, let me know. You know, I don't want to offend anybody. I really don't. But I don't want to hide from things either, if that makes sense. And I certainly don't want to lose subscribers either. They're doing their game. I get up to 87, goes down to 84. Tom goes, they just really like messing with you, don't they? And I said, yeah, I think they do. So that's just how it works, I guess. All right, and then we need, it says 1.25 cups of sugar. And like I said, I'm only going to go with 1 cup because, you know, when people make that, I'm not going to cut it in half like the other person said, because maybe that's a little bit too much. You want it to be a little bit sweet. I mean, it is a dessert. All right. And then we need a tablespoon of baking powder. I love this. It's got the opposite end, so then I can use a clean side. I like that. I love the stuff you guys send me. It's amazing. And then we need 3/4 teaspoon of salt. I think there's actually a, there is. Ha 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 ha. I love that. All right. Now it says you can use all in one bowl, but obviously I'm not, so that's okay. Now you're going to want to stir that up together too. Get that blended really, really well. Okay. So my other thing today was, I do want to tell you a small story about Faith though. My grandfather had a pacemaker, and he had cancer of the prostate and a bunch of other stuff, you know. And I remember when I was a little, well, I wasn't little, but I was 16, and it was near my birthday. He was going to come down for my 16th birthday. And he called me up and he said, Christy, I'm not going to make it down there for your 16th birthday. I'm just way too sick. And I'm like, I understand, Grandpa. I get it. I get it. No problem. So they didn't give my grandpa very long. My birthday's on November 7th. And I said, for my birthday, can you just get out of the hospital so we can see you? And he did. He got better. And we went to the hospital over in Lakeview to see him. And he ended up dying very early in the morning on Thanksgiving Day of 1982. And we went up there to see him. And he was in and out of like consciousness. And the whole time he was like reaching up, like he was waiting for someone to take him. And he said, Chrissy, come here. And so I went over to him. And he says to me, he goes, I'm going to save a place in heaven for you and your mom. And after seeing him reach, and then him saying that, you guys, that was incredible, because someone, it seemed, was there. So we have that faith that eventually we'll be guided home too. I hope it's not for a long time, because I told you guys before, I don't like death. So there it is. So I picture my grandpa up there waiting patiently, I'm sure, because I'm sure he don't want me there too soon. But knowing that he'll be there waiting for me, and he saved a place for me. So if we can have faith in people like that, that they really truly are waiting for us and saving a place for us, or doing what they say that they're going to do, maybe we need to give God that same faith and give him the same benefit of the doubt. So I've greased my 9x13 pan, and we're going to pour all those beautiful apples in there. Oh, look at that, you guys. Should put you down so you can see, right? Jeez, Chris. All right. Now, we're going to take that mixture and we're going to put it all over the top. I know people have done this with their cake mixes, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about something here in a few minutes after I get this put in the oven and clean up my mess. because today on the channel it made really a big impact on me, and I want to tell you guys about it. Then you're going to take a cup and a half or 3/4 to a cup of butter, and you're going to melt it and put it over the top. I used a whole cup. And then you can kind of tilt it a little bit to try to get as much covered as you possibly can. I'm really bad about this part, so if it comes out looking wonky, well, I guess that's my fault. Which it probably will, but that's okay. That was probably a stupid move right there. But that's all right, too. All right, so now I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to clean up my mess, and then I'm going to come back. Anyways, through all that ranting, which I happen to do a lot of, I do truly have faith in God that He will fix everything. And if He doesn't, I guess it wasn't meant to be. I'm just saying that we need to help ourselves as well. And I do want to say I am thankful for my family and for my grandkids. And, you know, I told you guys that they told me I'd never have kids. And yesterday I put Emmy in the sink, and he just has a blast. And last night after he was, you guys couldn't see him, but he was trying to eat his banana out of his truck. He was just a mess. So when I got him out of the high chair, he walked over to the sink thinking Grandma's going to put him back in the sink. Boy, was he mad at me, you guys. He was really mad at me. But I looked at him, and he was playing and giggling and laughing, and I thought to myself, you know, doctors said that I would never have a baby, but God said I would. And I have 2 incredibly beautiful grandsons, and hopefully our other 2 get busy someday and give us a grandkid apiece or something. But anyway, and I am very thankful for you guys. I felt like YouTube was a calling. I truly did. And so when I started it, boy, there was a lot of times I wanted to quit. There's a lot of work behind it, you know, planning what you're going to make and everything else. And it can be a lot of work. But I went from not liking to cook anymore to loving it again and seeing it as an art form. And I have made so many friends through you guys, and so many what I would consider family now. And I truly do love each and every one of you. And I hope that you don't go anywhere. YouTube's playing again. Like, it'll go up 2, go down 3. Go up 3, go down 2. They don't want me to see 4,000, I guess. I don't know. But speaking of that, you guys see Nanny Tam on my channel every day. She has a channel of her own now. So if you can go over and check her out, and let's flood her with some subscribers, because she's just a beautiful person, and I do see her as family. And Tammy, I love you. I love you like your family, for sure. Much love, sister. Much love. But anyways, so the next thing I wanted to talk about, that does got to cook for 40 to 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes. And I probably screwed up the top, but we'll eat it anyway. Anyways, I don't normally watch her channel too much because she's not a fan of mine, because I do Rebel Canning, and that's the big girl group I told you I couldn't get into. But today, for some reason, her channel, I mean, I do watch her, but Lisa over at Sutton's Days. And it was like 1:45 in the morning, and I caught this on her channel, and I did watch the video before that too as well. And I watched all their canning videos and everything too. Because it's nice to get recipes. I mean, hello. But she brought up something where she was showing how to do, to start a pantry. And some things that she could make from these things, like rice and beans and all those other things, oatmeal and whatever. And someone gave her a nasty comment. And about how can we be this old and not know how to do things with rice or with anything, you know what I mean? And so I wanted to address that too. I left a long comment on there because, and I don't normally do that. I'll be like, looks great, tastes good, love it, you're making me fat, I gained 10 pounds, I'm licking my screen. Just small things like that. But that really hit me because I am 57 years old, and my grandma did teach me how to can pears and peaches and stuff. I was probably about 19 years old. And when you get busy in the world, you know, you're working. At that time, I was working 16 hours a day. I'd go from one job 6 to 2. I'd walk down to the gas station, work 2 to 10, come home, have to do laundry, cook, clean, do all that stuff. So, you know, it was rough. It was rough. And then when you get kids, your time is just so, I see it with my son and his wife. And it's so hard. You're picking up kids from daycare, from school, blah, blah, blah. And it's so hard to throw together a meal. So what do we tend to do? We either go get that prepackaged food that goes in the microwave or in the oven, or we stop at McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, whatever it happens to be. So when this lady said that to her, do you know, I started my channel almost 2 years ago, and I'll be honest, I had just started canning. I had just started learning about, you know, preserving and dehydrating and freezing and how to do those things. So that would have made me about 55 years old, 54, somewhere around in there. And so, like, some things I'm learning as I go with you guys. What upset me about that most is that we have been programmed into a fast society of let's just pick this up or pick that up or do whatever. Yeah. And I agree with her on that. But don't for 1 minute, this is what really caught me. Don't for 1 minute ever think that you are too old to start your pantry. You know, there's some of you guys on there that are, I don't want to call you older because I'm just a few years difference, but, you know, there was one person that she didn't know how to can, so I did a video for her, and now she cans like crazy, and she's in her, I think, early 60s. I had always stocked up canned goods, you know, like from the store, whatever, but I never thought about beans and rice and, you know, all the other crap. I never thought about any of that stuff because the world was just so great, you know, so why do we need to do any of that? Well, then, you know, COVID hit, the supply chain got, you know, all messed up and whatever, and, you know, in our state, we were told, you know, we can't garden, so I'm kind of defiant and started a garden. Now we take up most of Jack's yard. I think that in some ways we have been programmed, and not everybody's mom took time to teach us how to cook. I'm Gen X, and they call us like the rebel ones because it seemed like our parents didn't want us in the house, and we'd be gone all day. They didn't know where we were, you know, and my mom didn't take time to teach me how to cook, or, you know, she just basically said, do this or do that, and you did it, you know. So I feel like in some ways we kind of raised ourselves. Yeah, but anyways, you know, I don't like rice. I don't. Neither does Tom. I was never a bean person. My mom always made her bean soup the one way, and I ate it because I knew I'd have to sit at the table until I did. I couldn't stand it. And so, like, I liked refried beans. I never liked black beans until I tried it in a recipe, and I was like, whoa, that's pretty good. And I told Tom, I go, well, if SHTF ever happens, you know, rice and beans are the two longest things. I mean, like, they'll last forever if you take care of them. And he's like, well, if you start flavoring the rice, then maybe. So if you notice, very seldom do I ever serve plain rice, because we're trying to learn to like it, to love it. And in some things we do love it. My love for beans has gotten better, and, like, I love my bean soup. It's nothing like my mom's, and I love it. I love it. I could eat it every day. People around me probably not like that, but I could do it. So if you start a pantry, don't put a bunch of stuff in there that you don't like, or that you don't think you could like. But when I seen that comment from that lady, and Lisa talked about it, I was just like, I am going to mention this on my channel as well, because I don't care if you're 18 or if you're 100. When you have a pantry, it's like money in the bank. Because actually there's nothing that was in today's recipe that I couldn't get out of my refrigerator, freezer, or my pantry. I didn't have to leave home to go get anything. And what happens if everybody thinks it's, oh, we all think it's the end of the world and whatever, and that's why we do it. No, that's not why we do it. What if you're sick and you can't get out of the house for a week? And, you know, I can get grocery service here in the city free from Meijer and from Walmart, you know, but there's a lot of places that they don't have that, you know, so you can't just have something delivered to your house. And who can afford to have meals delivered anyway? Oh, gosh, those are expensive too. Or let's say a job change. Like when Tom changed his job from the old one to this one, we were a couple weeks without a paycheck. So I didn't have the money to just go out and buy all kinds of groceries. We had to depend on, you know, what we had here. And so like some of those cheap weeks, that means that we're running really, really low. And I don't have a ton of money to buy groceries, so we're going to use what we have. And it's easier just to add a few things that we have to buy than to just take it all up, you know, if we don't have it in the pantry. So I don't care if you're 18 or if you're 100. Have a pantry. You know, even if it's only, you know, like they did that $5 thing that I did last year as well. You know, even if you do that. Even if one week you buy, you know, a bag of rice and the next week you buy a bag of beans, or you buy, you know, 5 pounds of sugar or 5 pounds of flour. Tom's like, you have so much flour and sugar. What do we need that for? And then he's seen during the baking over at Christmas, he's like, I will never say anything again. Because we sincerely went through almost 50 pounds of flour during Christmas. And that didn't take much at all. So for that lady, and then there was that one lady that a couple of weeks ago, if you guys remember, she took her comments down, but talking about eating fresh fruit and vegetables all the time and this and that and whatever. Sometimes you don't have money to eat like that. Sometimes you have to just eat what will fill your belly and fill your family's belly. And you may not be able to eat the freshest of things. And in Michigan, right now, you know, because of the weather and whatever, and we're a very seasonal state, a lot of our vegetables and fruits are very, very expensive right now because, you know, they're out of season or they may not be able to get them. So whatever the thing may be, I don't care if you got to feed your kids a can of canned fruit or regular fruit. They got it, right? And vegetables is the same thing. If you can do frozen over can, that's great, but frozen's not going to stay in your pantry as long. But people that are negative Nellies like that, you know what? My grandpa used to always say to me, if you learn something new every day, you're still living. And you know, I carry that with me every day of my life. And if you learn something, you are still living. You're here. You know what, you guys, when I first canned, I swear to you, my sister stood here. I'd done the water bathing. And then we went to go to the pressure canning. And she was like, put the jiggler on. And I'm like, I stood behind her because I told you guys the story about it exploding on the ceiling. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. She goes, I can't be here every time that you need a can. And I'm like, oh, I guess she's right. So I rushed over and I put it on top. And I was scared. I mean, I was scared, you guys. And then when it was done, you know, you got to let it cool down and whatever. And I pulled it out. And I don't even remember what it was. But you guys, there was such a feeling of accomplishment that I had actually canned that food that is safe for my family for, you know, it could be several years. And people always say 18 months, but that's not always true. But anyways, you know, it was like such a sense of accomplishment that I did that for my family. And, you know, at first my kids, they were kind of skeptical about trying stuff. Well, then, of Courtney's mom was eating the stuff. So, you know, like my son goes, I've never tried your burrito in a jar. And Courtney said, yes, you have. Because she made it for him. And now, you know, they'll eat my canned foods and they're not as nervous. So I guess what I wanted to say, and I know I'm babbling on, is I don't care how old you are. If you want to learn how to can something, you know what, put it in the comments. And if I can make it, and if it's something that I will use, because I'm not going to can anything I won't use, I'll do a video for you and teach you how to do it. If you want to learn how to dehydrate something and it's something that I'll use, I will do it. I will teach you how to, you know, freeze certain things up. I will teach you how to store certain things, whatever you need to do. Because that pantry is like money in the bank. When nobody else has something and you do, think about that. You remember that, and that joy that I felt when I got that out of the canner. You know, when AJ goes shopping down in my basement, he says, Grandma, I love shopping in your store. Your basement's creepy. But he loves shopping down there. So, do you know how good that feels to know that your grandson and your in-laws or your sons can go down there and they're like, do you have this, Mom? And you go down, they have it, they pick it, get whatever they want, and take it. You know, and that makes me as a mom feel really, really good, because I know how tough those kids have the time right now. You know, housing is expensive, car payments, daycare, don't even want to go there. All that stuff is so expensive. And sometimes, you know, financially you can't afford to help them, but, you know, you can send them home with a meal, or like today, Courtney's eating leftover taco soup, you know. It can be little things like that that helps your family out, and it makes you feel good that you can actually help your family. So, along with Lisa today, I'm going to say, you people that are negative Nellies and that you want to hurt people's feelings because they don't know what to do with rice, or they don't know what to do with beans, or, you know, I don't know, certain noodles, or, you know, whatever. Don't do that. I mean, this is me being like staunch. Don't do that. Because every day that you learn something, you learn it. You keep it here, right? If you don't know how to do anything with rice, ask. Someone will tell you. There's people in my comments that will answer you as well. If I don't know how to do it, there was someone that, what was it? Grits. I could only find one recipe for. She wants to make sure that they don't go to waste. So she, you know, she asked. The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So for that person on her channel, that's not cool. I don't care how old you get to be. There's something someone has never cooked before, and they're going to learn. And you know what? And if they do, blessings to them, because you know what? I think it's great to learn something new. And if there's something you guys, you know, want to see, make sure you tell me. I also want to know in the comments below if you would like me to show a video, something like what Lisa did, and, you know, give some examples of what you can do with the rice and the beans and all the different stuff. And, you know, like canned meat and all that. Let me know if you want to see something like that, because I will do a video on it as well. I know my community, you guys are very, very supportive, and the ones that are not, they don't last long, because you guys make sure of that. So, I am grateful for such a great community. I really, truly am, and I thank you guys every single day. I love you guys so much. But for those people that come in here and they want to be negative like that, you know, like they did to her, I'm not going to have someone cutting on my people, saying that, you know, they should already know that or whatever. No. We weren't handed cards when our children were born. We weren't handed cards on how to raise them. I never read Dr. Spock. It was a really thick book. You know, you don't know what your child's taste is going to be. Like AJ's really fussy. I mean, he's not. He'll eat anything under the sun. So for your parents to teach you this and that and whatever, they should. But doesn't mean they always have time. Some parents out there right now are working 2 and 3 jobs to try to keep their kids in food and clothes. So they may not have time to teach. So that's what videos are for. That's what you know, Google's for, YouTube, all that stuff. Tom says Google everything. So I know I just wandered on for a whole bunch of time, but I'm sorry. But no matter how old you are, no matter what your circumstances are, never be afraid to ask. And if I can't answer it, somebody in the community will. If you want to learn something, ask. Because I don't care how old you are. If you're 75 years old and you want to learn how to can, let me tell you, I'll do a video for you and we'll learn to can together. And I don't care if you're 18 years old and you just got out on your own and you want to learn how to make tuna fish casserole and you say, you know what, I'd really like to learn how to make that. I'm going to make tuna fish casserole. I'm going to teach you how to do it. If you want to do it your own way later on, that's fine. But never ever make anybody feel stupid or less than because they can't do everything that you can. Because how I teach my kids is you never ever think you're better than anybody, but no one's ever better than you. Because even the person in the world that doesn't know a thing can do something that you can't. Always keep that in mind. So I'm going to let this finish cooking up. And this video is going to be super long, and I am so sorry for that. And I rambled on and on and on, and it's probably not so much a Thankful Thursday. You know me. Let me know if you guys think I just went too stupid today with the religion and going on about this, but I don't ever want anyone to feel like they're not good enough or they don't know enough. In this world today, I never thought I'd see it get like this in my lifetime. I always knew it would, but didn't think in my lifetime. People have a hard enough time just making it. And I don't mean just financially, but people are having a rough time. We don't need to make people feel less than just because we think we're better than them and we know it all. So I will be back. I know I rambled on. I probably lost 100 subscribers talking crap I did talk today. I don't know. Anyways, I'll be back. It's done. Look at that. Pretty, pretty, pretty. So the reason I wanted to do it today without a cake mix is to do with that video as well. That we can make things from our own pantry, and I didn't have to go to the store to get vanilla cake mix or, you know, whatever it happens to be. I could actually do it from home. Never leave the house to do anything. Not that you shouldn't leave your house, but you know what I'm saying. You can do everything from your pantry. So I'm going to try to take a bite of this. It just came out of the oven. It's pretty hot. You know, I agree. I don't think I would want any more sugar. It's not too sweet. It's not too undersweet. It's perfect. So if you do this, only on my suggestion, you do you. Instead of a 1.25 cups of sugar, I'd only use a cup. That makes it really perfect, I think. So hopefully today I didn't jump around too much and like, there she goes out on a tangent again. Know that I have faith. Know that I believe in God, and I believe in myself. And I believe in other people still. Even with the world as crappy as it can get, I still have faith in people as well. I know that most of the people from my community want me to succeed, and I appreciate that. There comes one of those few people once in a while that they don't. But most people do. Most people wish for the best for everyone. And know that I truly, truly do wish the best for each and every one of you. And I do pray that each and every one of you get what needs to be done, no matter what it is. Know that I love you. And I truly do mean that. And I appreciate that you take time of your day, every day, to watch me, to comment. And please always comment. I love to read the comments. You comment, you know, you share it, your videos and everything else so that, you know, it can help me build my dream, and I appreciate that. Know that, you know, we're all in this together. None of us get out of it alive. So we might as well do what's best for ourselves as well as other people as we go through. You know, through doing YouTube, I've gained a lot of, well, the love of cooking back and becoming an artist with the food. And I have gained back a love for humankind again, if that makes sense. I've been in sales for a lot of years, and sometimes you lose that. But when I ask you guys to pray for somebody, you know, you guys jump right on it and you look out for people. And so it's brought back a love for humanity that sometimes you think isn't there anymore, but it is. It truly is. And I thank you guys for that. You know, I do have faith that my channel will grow, and it'll be enough that Tom will be able to eventually retire and we can travel and cook on the road and do all those kind of things. And I know I'm talking to someone about this very thing. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a newborn or if you're 100 years old. You gotta have that dream. Something that you look forward to. You know, whether it's just a new car or it's, you know, groceries for the week, or if it's a new place to live, whatever it happens to be your dream, it's your dream. And keep that dream. Sometimes you might update it, you know, but the best thing I can say today is, you know, be you. Because you're the person that we love. You're the person that we respect and that we learn from and that we gather from. And real people, good or bad, I think it's best that we get them for real. Other than like what Tom calls them, plastic people. Don't be plastic. Be you. That's another thing from today. I think that we just need to be us. We need to be who we are. I think that's important. So, sorry I took up so much of your time again. I really never intend them to be this long. It's just that, you know, the Thankful Thursdays, that I pull from all different things to figure out what I'm going to say and do and whatever. And so I babble on a lot, and I apologize for that. You guys are sitting here next to me going, Chris, shut up. And I'm like, grab another cup of coffee and we'll keep chatting. Yeah, you probably wouldn't want to sit next to me because it might be a long day. But anyway, yeah. You can ask people to talk to me on the phone. I'm not much into the phone thing because I always had to set appointments for my business, and phone is not my, yeah, if I don't call you, it doesn't mean I don't love you. Excuse me. So I'm going to go run a couple errands. I'm going to get this video up. This was yummy. Give it a try if you got some extra apples. Thank you for being here. You guys are such a blessing, and I can't express how much I love you and appreciate you. And thank you for being you. Thank you for nudging me even when you think you're not. And thank you for helping me be a better person. And that means a lot to me. So I'll be back for supper. There's part of it right there. I am going to cook again for Jack tonight. He should be here for sure on Monday. Things are much better over at his house, so he's gotten things dealt with and he's just finishing it up. And you know, sometimes life happens and you got things you got to take care of and you got to do, and that's how it is. He misses you guys. He's already figured out the first line that he's going to say to you guys when he comes back on Monday. He's funny. But he does miss you guys. But so I'm going to cook his meal tonight with mine, and then I'll do his weekend meals, and then he's back. So I love you guys. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day, and be a blessing to someone today, even if it's opening the door and giving them a smile. I love you guys.